I'm starting a little early here because I want you to guys see the voltage rise as Pete turns stuff off out there. It was 115 at first. Now we're at I'll round up to 118. See what else he's got to turn off. That made a difference. That was the good manufacturing. Now he's going to go upstairs and kill the upstairs fans. Upstairs fans probably won't make a big difference. Upstairs lights, I think, are going to be the only thing. Don't forget the fans out there, too. Okay. I've been watching it, and we went from 115 to 120, so it does make a difference.
What
so,
I left the lantern
lights
on.
I saw. Smart.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they're LEDs, so they're not
making any noticeable difference.
I could have done the ring lights, too, just
wouldn't have made any difference, exactly.
Right. But just to have a light on, I turned off the good manufacturing.
Good manufacturing did make a difference when you turned them off, I noticed.
Yeah.
Because maybe if they were excellent, it would have made less of a difference. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, hey, guys, first fan of the night.
First fan of the night.
Although I don't know if technically this counts as first fan of the night, because this is what did you call him? A quick and cheap video? A Dan is cheap video, Dan is dirty video, something like that. I call it a quick and dirty video, but Metal Pete calls it something that insults me. I just can't remember what it is. Dan Sucks videos, we'll call him that. So this is one of the 4 church blenders that was in the original organ shop install from, what was that, like almost 6 months ago, right? They've been up there almost 6 months?
Yeah.
Might have even been, it's been more than that, come to think of it, because they went up at in the end of 2022.
Yes.
And so now we're in the 7th month of 2023. So they've been up for at least 8 months, maybe more.
I think I know that you already had the organs moved in. I just didn't have them powered, but they were up, by, like, say, late fall.
Yeah, so...
I just had them up. They weren't running.
November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. So, yeah, like 8 months.
Yeah.
And we wanted to, before we took these apart and put them back in storage, we wanted to do a quick and Dan Sucks video on these. So we're not going to go through the whole test rig, but we will do RPM, CFM, current draw.
Yeah, now we could also just do a quick demonstration of those as like an update.
Oh, good idea. Let's wait till we get everything nice and organized out there, and then I can show, because it'll be a few new organs and things too, and we can do like a whole update of that area.
Sure.
We might, depending on how quick the organizing goes, we might even get to that tonight. We'll see.
Okay.
But great idea. Great idea, your metalness. Oh, by the way, while I'm giving Pete compliments, his pulled pork tonight was wonderful. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to the next time he does that. Let me know. I'll put in on. I know those pork roasts can't be cheap, so I'll put in on the next one.
Okay.
And especially if you make a brisket.
Yeah, and usually I make them for, like, say, a holiday occasion.
Yep. Because it takes a little time on the grill.
Yeah. It does. Ribs do too.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do here, we got volts, we'll do amps, and we can do a 0 to high.
Yep.
This is with the current capacitor in it.
Yep.
So.
My memory says that some of these had 8s and some had 9s, but I might be making that up. They might all be 9s.
I mean,
nice startup whine on that.
Yeah.
This is better performing than some of the other ones. Some of the other ones were like 8.86 coming out of it.
Yeah.
And not in all cases, but with these fans, the higher the current draw, generally the better the performance.
Well, sure.
It's not not that way with gold lines. With gold lines, it seems like the lower the current draw, the better the performance.
I notice even when they say they're rated for 1 amp,
yep.
but yet they draw less than that, like almost 0.9.
Yep.
Which is fine. It's still close enough, and you're getting what you should be getting out of them. So this one doesn't look so bad.
No, this one's running great, actually.
Yeah, I think so,
see how it does. One of the things that we have discovered, and we will point out, is that the CFM readings are different in here, with less space between the fan and the ceiling, and just a smaller space in general. That is a factor. The bigger the space, the more accurate the CFM reading is going to be. Because when you put it in a smaller space, you're confining the air movement somewhat. But of course, again, a lot of times these will be installed this close to the ceiling, so it's not exactly.
Especially.
Well, you get a clean reading there, huh?
Yep, 614.
So that's just over 200. That is 205.
I think that looks about right.
Looks
this
about
is
right.
Going like a typical residential.
On the fast side of that, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yep, it's doing just over 200 RPM. So.
Now for my favorite test.
Yes.
Shout out to the Neon Fan Company for this particular test. I would have actually Leading Edge gets the first credit because the owner of Leading Edge sent me his documents, his commercial proprietary documents.
551.
551 times 14.75 equals. So this is around 8,200 CFM.
Yeah.
Which is the same as the last one we tested with the original capacitor did in here. And it's the same as the K55 Zephyr did in here. So that seems to be about the standard airflow for a 52-inch K55 fan tested in here.
Okay.
And again, please keep note that when we test stuff, it'll have the lowest CFM rating in my garage, and it'll have the highest one in the bay, just because of how much air clearance there is around it. Okay, anything else to test on this one?
Well, spin down.
Let me ask you a question. Instead of stopping and starting the video, do we want to just take this one down and go get the next one and do it all one long video, and just make sure you put the ones we've tested in a specific place?
Yes.
I'm fine with that. This will be a nice vlog.
Yeah.
As the young folks would call it.
Yep.
By the way, I was telling his metalness, I took an antique fan collector to House on the Rock today. Guess what his favorite room was?
What? The organ?
Organ room. Do you know why?
No.
All those huge antique motors in there.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever paid that much close attention to them before, but a lot of those are those giant motors that are in there.
Yeah.
A lot of them are hundreds of years old, and they were either made in Wisconsin or they were made in New York.
Okay.
And he recognized all of them.
Oh.
And so I should have filmed that. I should have filmed. I'll tell you what, I'm going to ask him that sometime if he wants to go back, I want to film him talking about the motors in the organ room, because he probably knows more about those than anybody I've met so far. Wow, good spin down on this one. I don't think we remember where this came from, do we?
One of them. This may have been the one you tested with your other friend there.
Well, that one I know. So the one that I tested with the guy who came up with the name Blenderfan, that's the one that has the painted blades, but we swapped the blades with a different one, so the painted blades would be on the end.
Okay.
But that was actually, spin down. That was actually the motor of that one is the one that ended up with the painted blades here.
Okay.
And we just, like I said, we swapped the blades from a different one.
And then I know there's that batch from a church in Mequon.
Yes. Did we ever find all of those?
I think we're missing one.
It's got to be around somewhere. If it's not here,
I think I got one though.
At your shop?
Yes.
I mean at your storage, not shop.
Yeah, I know I got one complete, blades and all.
Okay.
I got 2 sets of 3 blades, one for that one and the one currently on my K63.
Gotcha. Yeah, well,
we got to play
work or sheep.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I know that there was 4 out of that church in Mequon, right?
Yes.
And I think they all went to the underground storage. So they would either be in the garage in Oregon or they would be here. They never went to my mom's house.
Well, a couple of them were up there.
Yes,
so.
2 of them were in the.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, what did I think the chair just hit the thing. That's all that was. I was like, yeah. That sounded impressive, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
We did do CFM. Yep.
Yep, I think we did. That's all you wanted to do on these, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So
maybe what I'll do is I'll just peek at the capacitor.
I think that's a good idea. Certainly not going to hurt anything. Now, please note the metal method of taking the fan down and then disconnecting the wires. May or may not have been on purpose. You just never know with metalness. Doorbells. Yeah, make sure we'll see if we can get a visit from Metal Jonas at the end of this video. Clunk. Crunch, 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 crunch. This is the boring part of the video, where we just hear metal noises in the background. I thought he was going to check the capacitor in here, but he took it out there. Rick or Sheep, which is it?
I think it's Rick.
Honestly, I think I like Sheep better than Rick, to be honest. Okay, is that a different one?
Yes.
Did you take a peek at the capacitor?
Not yet.
Okay.
I did not peek at that capacitor.
Okay. You got to peek at this one first?
I could do that.
Well, I mean, okay. I'm just trying to figure out your system, that's all.
Okay. Oh, that's just
Did I change any of these, I wonder? I know I did in the Strato of the Jets, as Justin would say.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can take this out of the camera stand and actually show metalwork down here.
Yep.
Looks like the original capacitor.
Yep.
And it is a... Drum roll, please. Know any drummers?
Oh, not out here.
Not out here.
Me. It is certainly 9.
Okay. So far, they is all 9s. I'm wondering if they are in fact all 9s, and the Stratojets had an 8.
Yeah, because this is just your standard.
Yeah, it seems unlikely that they would have a whole bunch of different values. By the way, Reese recently posted a screenshot of the Blenderfan from The Sopranos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I wish I knew what episode it was. I'd try to get some video footage of it. I was surprised to see that it looked like K55 and plastic blade. I always thought it was. I thought it was either K63 or K55 and fiberglass blade. And maybe it is fiberglass blade. It's kind of hard to see in the screenshot.
But now I was gonna say the one at that bowling place in Louisville.
Yep.
Dane's favorite bowling alley. That one, the end ones are K55 plastic blade.
Yep.
Those are indeed that, and I did look closely at the middle ones, but you pointed out that those are K63, not Rick Blenderfans.
I still call anything 4-blade and K63 a Rick Blender, even if it doesn't have the right flywheel, only because most of us didn't notice the difference, including Rick, didn't notice the difference of the flywheel until we got older.
Okay, but... still, he was more about...
Oh, yeah, the maximum Rick Blender, the ultimate Rick Blender is, of course, is the smooth flywheel.
Yes.
Also, somewhere I have those blenders that came out of that hardware store in Minneapolis that are K55 3-blade and plastic blade, but they got the short arms, which are nicer than the long arms, in my opinion. The wire nut's right there.
Yeah.
And Those are, you know, do you remember seeing those? They had like a weird pipe fitting for a down rod and like a cord that came out the down rod.
Yes, because they have a cord coming off of those.
Yep, those were made to plug in.
Yeah.
And that was how the hardware store.
Custom.
It was
a custom job by
me and Andrew Slattery pulled those out of a hardware store in either Minneapolis or St. Paul, the Twin Cities area.
Okay.
Twin Cities used to have a lot of great fan installs. I don't know how many of them are still there, but
yeah,
I love the Twin Cities. And of course, a lot of my favorite musicians are from there.
Yep.
Any good metal bands from the Twin Cities?
Well, there's smaller bands that are local.
Like, what's your favorite?
Let's see. There's Glutton for Punishment. They're friends of mine, and Bludgeon.
What have you played? Have you played any venues up in the Twin Cities?
Yes.
What's your favorite venue to play in the Twin Cities?
Ooh. Well, I only played at small bars, and the one that I last played at was Lee's Liquor Lounge.
Okay, I haven't played that one.
Almost by the Twin Stadium.
Gotcha. I'm trying to think of some of the places I've played there. I mean,
I didn't play at no big theater or
the
large.
Caboose is a big one. What's the smaller venue next to First Avenue? They have a lot of metal shows there.
Oof.
I can't remember what it's called.
Underground.
Yeah, that might be it.
Because, well, it's another place on the main level, like a pub restaurant, and then down in the basement is like the venue.
Have you played there?
Yes.
Nice.
Very tiny stage.
But I know, I mean, it's still kind of cool to play there because it's part of First Avenue, which is such an iconic venue.
Yeah. Okay, so here's fan number 2. So here's Zero to High.
And, ooh. Wow, I wonder if this one's got a replaced capacitor in it. No, it doesn't. It's got the
I just
9.
took it apart.
That's right.
And it's got the original 9.
Well, before you do a CFM test, maybe let's measure it and see if one of the blade arms can be bent a little bit, because I bet you it would measure better if it was better balanced.
Okay.
You got a tape measure handy of metalness?
I thought so.
Is it outside?
Let me see.
We learned a lot about balancing the last time.
But yeah, that's drawing like what, 1 point?
Drawing with the ones with a 10 in them are drawing. That's what made me curious.
Yeah, see.
You can stop it by hand. We don't need to do spin down for this.
No.
It's not a proper.
Did one. Okay. Okay, so that's 14 and a half. Just almost 14 and a half, I'll call it that. They're real close.
That one's different?
Not. Well, maybe this one could come down, if anything.
Okay. I think blender fans look best when the blades angle a little down anyways.
Yeah, this is more...
It's closer?
Yeah, much.
Let's see if we're...
Okay, let's try it again. I mean, the height? I can't really see it.
Let me take a look. Here, stop the fan. Let's take a look. Ooh.
Maybe if I'm measuring correctly.
Oh, I'm just looking to make sure all the blade arms are level there.
Yeah, if you want to use your point.
Yeah, I do it a little differently, which is fine.
Yeah.
So this one from here is 26 3/4.
26 3/4.
26 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all at 26 3/4.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder, because it's not like it's wood where it can change in weight.
Right.
And while we did mix and match the different sets of blades, we kept the blades in sets.
Yeah.
So I don't know why, unless the rotor got out of alignment. That seems unlikely.
Yeah, I don't see anything else out of.
Okay, well, let's just test it like it is. I don't think it's worth spending a whole lot of time on.
Yeah.
But I am curious. What we can't do, because this doesn't have a switch housing, but what I'd like to do is hold it steady and see if the blades look lined up with it held steady.
Okay, so it's drawing 1.4 amps. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to measure the... Okay, 640... Oh, 648.
So that's a lot faster than the last one we tested.
Yeah.
Because the last one was 614, and that one was this one's 648, which works out to being 216, which isn't like a huge difference, but
no.
I can see the difference.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can too.
What about the CFM?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I got a 570. Yep, 570.
So that's definitely more. That is 8,400.
Okay.
Okay, well, let's bring in bachelor number 3.
Yep. I'm going to have to assume that these all had 9s in them.
Yeah, seems likely.
Because the way they put them in from the factory, those ear tab type,
Yeah.
that sounds like an Emerson thing.
Yes.
So I'm going to assume that was what they did. Seen it done by like the Sears 1895
Yep.
one, and the designer kind of do the same thing.
So you know what's interesting is, Emerson made motors for a lot of other fan companies.
Yep.
And K63 they sold to whoever.
Mm-hmm.
K55 they sold to whoever.
Yeah.
The KB55 they never sold to anyone else.
No, I think Sears is the only one.
And they were selling complete fans, not just motors.
Okay.
This is the last of the non-painted ones.
Yes.
I think you're right. I think they're probably all 9s, although that first one did perform very different than the second. But I would have thought the second one had a replaced capacitor, and it didn't, so.
Oh.
Bigger sheep.
That's Rick. I don't know if I should even take this one apart, or am I just gonna...
Your call. I'd say we test it first.
Okay. Sure.
It's already up there.
Yeah.
It's right here. Now, I don't know if you're doing it for you or for me. For the record, if we're just doing a quick and dirty video without the canopy, I don't care if the wires are wrapped neatly. But
I'm not trying to wrap them neatly. I'm just trying to
get them out of the blades.
Exactly.
That's what I thought. I was just making sure.
Yep. No, I just want to make sure they don't get caught in the blades.
Yep. Worse than balloons.
Yep. I'm shocked.
Well, the balloon, the natural enemy of the fan.
That's right. Get them up in there just like that. Okay. Let's do a 0 to high on this one.
Okay. This is performing like the first one.
Yeah.
A little wobbly too, but not nearly as wobbly as the second one.
I think that second one might have been the one that was like...
Super wobbly, yeah. Second from the...
Well, the other thing to consider is we got the voltage right at 120.
Yep, that does make a difference.
And over there, we're probably dealing with a more reality situation.
Well, for here, yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's, anywhere, with voltage sag when you got a bunch of stuff on a circuit.
Well, normally when you're in like a residential area or a commercial or urban area, like when you're close to the power company and close to the power lines and you've got a properly sized electric service, these days it's pretty common for your line voltage to be around 123, which is what it normally is at my house. If you measure at your house, it's probably around 123. So usually then when you put a lot of appliances and things on there and it sags, it usually drops down to 120. It's not very common these days for it to be as low out as it is out here, but that's because we're in a barn in the middle of nowhere, and the electric from here is running off of a panel that's like an acre away or whatever. Like there's a lot of factors.
664.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting out of this one.
Yeah, it's 221. Yeah, that one does look about as fast as the last one we tested. So it's interesting that the first one was slower.
Yeah.
I guess these are all a little bit different as well.
They are, and these are going about the same as the other gold lines.
The
Oregon Shop gold lines. I tested and measured those real quick, and they're like 220, 225.
Yep. Those are 56 too, so they're going to be a little bit more powerful. But let's do the CFM.
Okay.
I don't know, but I know you don't care for these, but I like Blenderfans.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh, another 570.
So that's going to be the same as the last one, 84.
Basically.
Okay. House on the Rock.
Organs. House on the Rock. Magnificent.
Doorbells.
Incredible.
I hear Metal Jonas off in the distance. We'll see if he shows up later. By the way, just in case you haven't watched any of them, when Rick and I test fans at my garage now and you're not there, or anytime we test fans and you're not there, whether it's here at the garage, when we get to 8, 12, and 20, we think we can hear crunching off in the distance. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
There's ricochet.
Just off in the distance. Like the wind blew it in. Hey guys, last fan of the night.
Last fan of the night.
This might not actually be the last fan of the night. Who knows what else Pete and I are going to do, but it's the last of the 4 blenders, so I had to say it.
Yeah.
And off in the distance. That's true. We can also hear Metal Jonas off in the distance. Like is he like like when you hear like a car driving past and you hear the sound as he drives past. Jonas is already planning his return. In fact, there's a group. No, it's in the House in the Rock group. There's a couple of House in the Rock Facebook groups. You're in those, aren't you?
Yeah.
One of them is just House in the Rock, and the other one is House in the Rock music machines, where people talk more about like how things work and what's real and what's fake and stuff like that. And yeah, Jonas is in there already planning his next trip to the House in the Rock.
Incredible.
He liked it a lot.
Oh?
Jonas, yes, he liked House of the Rock a lot. I don't know if you know that. It's a big shock.
Yeah, I saw the video. Okay. Now we'll do a 0 to high on this one.
Last fan of the night.
Last fan of the night, and it's the painted blades.
See, I can barely tell the difference. I forgot they were painted until you pointed them out. Same current draw as the first one and previous one.
Mm-hmm.
But it also seems to be going faster than that first one. Airflow seems really strong.
Okay. Actually, this one's slower.
Interesting.
It's reading 607.
That's the slowest yet.
Oh, hold on. I just got a 612. Let me see what I got. Yep. I got a 612.
That's still the slowest one either way.
Yeah.
204. That's still anything over 200 is fast. Anything, but
it's like the first one. Yeah, it's as fast.
First one was like 206 maybe.
Yeah,
it was what was it 217 I think divided by 3. Let me see what the first one was again. Yep, 206. Okay, let's see the CFMs.
Okay. Well, I know we got one.
Yep, these all have a power factor pretty close to 1.
Yep.
And off in the distance. You think Metal Jonas is going to show up at the end of this video? Maybe.
This one, I got a 570 again, so
yeah, interesting. Only the first one was a little weaker, but okay. Well, while this is spinning down, are there any sponsors that you want to thank? We don't have to do them all since this is an official test video, but we can certainly shout out any of your favorites.
Yes.
Oh God, he's going for the vacuums.
Yes. By
PowerMate.
Yes, by PowerMate. It's just like the 81220 company.
Yes.
Where we know it's Rhine Electric. PowerMate is the name Kenmore gave to them.
Well, I could get a PowerMate website. I wonder if it's available. I could look at PowerMate.com and it could redirect to your PowerMate video, or it could.
Yeah, I don't know when they stopped calling it. I think they stopped when they came out with what's called the whisper tone.
Interesting, because that's like they're trying to imply in the name that it's a quieter vacuum.
In a way, they actually are. Mine is actually a quieter one.
And off in the distance. Crunch.
Yeah, in fact.
Crunch. Oh, wow. I think we have a special guest. Who's here?
Oh, those doorbells and organs.
Look, it's Metal Jonas, everybody.
Doorbells, organs.
Looking for anything in particular, Metal Jonas?
Oh, more doorbells.
No, pardon me.
Do you have any Homestead catalogs?
What do you think of House on the Rock, Metal Jonas?
Oh, House on the Rock. It's incredible. One word, marvelous. One word, overwhelming. One word, amazing. One word, magnificent.
What do you think of Metal Pete's pulled pork, Metal Jonas?
Oh, pulled pork. Just magnificent.
I was thinking, it's okay. Like the spare. No, do it. You can continue. I was just laughing.
Well, I didn't. He never. I don't know what he thinks of.
I don't know either. I was just. But as Metal Jonas, you can guess. You know.
Yes. He said wood.
That's what he would do for the pulled pork. He'd do a Beavis and Butthead impression. You're right. Okay. Well, we already said buy Power Mate. Anything else they should buy?
Fan stick.
Buy fan stick. Thanks for watching.
Yes, they can.